I had to change memory cards. My the card got full. I don't know where it cut off, but why does it matter to you? Well, you know what? We all have to take part. We all have to take part. This kid's situation is just a fractal of what's going on in a larger system. It's called a fractal. Fractals are patterns. There's patterns in life. And there's a lot of these fractals taking place within society. So what's happening, let's say, in this foster care system is happening in all these systems. And what it boils down to, it's each person taking responsibility. Like, let's say, for me, how can I stay silent? How can I, attending these hearings, how can I not speak up and say, well, what's going on with that neuropsych evaluation? You know, how can we expedite that? The kid's got 2 years. 2 years, and then he's an adult. Okay, so why does it matter to you? Because he's going to be part of our society. And unless a lot of these issues are addressed properly, he's going to be contributing to ongoing issues that are going to just keep perpetuating. We have to nip some of these things in the bud. That's why so many communities are into providing their children the right environment within which to live, right? I mean, I grew up in a Greek community, and you know, they had values and morals and things that they wanted to convey and impress upon their children. You don't impress upon them verbally. It's within that environment that they're instilled. Morals, ethics, values, integrity, discipline, accountability. These are things that a lot of kids, a lot of communities aren't conveying to children, which leads to all kinds of psychopathic inabilities in the future. Psychopathic, when relationships can't be sustained, when education can't be furthered, you know, due to cognitive inabilities or lack of maturity or inability to handle stress. There's a lot of stress right now with kids, right? There's a lot of stress with everybody. It's raising resiliency in our children. How is that done? There are a lot of different ways, but has anybody taken a class as to how to go about raising resilient children? No, it's trial and error. You know, we only know, the only experience we have is what our parents have taught us. But there are other ways. There are solutions to the issues that we're having. And it really takes a concerted effort. And it takes wanting to contribute to that effort. And each of us has a personal responsibility to look at ourselves and where we may have brought beliefs, limiting beliefs from our childhood, or you know, not so healthy things from our childhood into our adulthood that are manifesting with outward behaviors that are not congruent with our values. That's one of the biggest things that's been lost here, is that I know a lot of people that have values, and yet with all this stuff that's going on, it's so beyond the realm of being able to wrap your head around it. You're trying to, you're overstimulated by all this stuff that's going on, that you lose sight of the foundational values. So like Martin Luther King said, we're all here, in pursuit of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, right? Well, we really, I refuse to believe that the bank of justice, the way he, I'm using some of his terminology in my own context, but I refuse to believe that the bank of justice and goodness is bankrupt. This kid was issued a check and it came back insufficient funds. Think about the systems that you're involved with and you are a citizen within. You too have been given a check and it's come back with insufficient funds. That's what we're facing. And it's not going to be the corporate and political agendas that's going to get us out of this mess. It's going to take each of us to work towards gaining clarity and figuring out what aspect of what system we want to affect change in and actually do it. And before you could even do it, there's going to be some cleaning up phase. I mean, it took me quite a few years to clean my act together, to get my act together. So there's an urgency. The urgency is around us. I mean, the reminders are all over the place. Now is the time. Now is the time to make real the promises of democracy. We have to rise. Like Martin Luther said, we have to rise, to lift ourselves from the quicksand of injustice. The injustice of all the systems out there that are affecting our lives with endless gaps within which too many of the citizens are struggling. Each of us is struggling. And then those that are in other, like really caught up in systems, like the disability system, the unemployment system, the foster care system, they're struggling even more. So we have to rise. We have to rise from the dark and desolate valley of separation. Now is the time to build a solid foundation of brotherhood and sisterhood. To make justice a reality. Because we're all God's children. And that's what it's about. We have to unite in brotherhood and sisterhood. Thank you.